Any new merch? Oh, well, yeah, funny you ask. Hey, what is up guys, MKBHD here, and it's June, which means it's another month, which means it's time for another questions and answers session. And yes, there is new merch, and this time it is actually limited edition, but for good reason. So our good friends over at Cotton Bureau, who run the store and who run a bunch of other stores, are celebrating their 5th birthday this week, and in honor of that, they're gonna be doing giveaways. The way this works is basically as much stuff as they sell on all of their sites, including the MKBHD shop, the more and more extravagant Apple-related giveaways they will be doing. So they're gonna start with stuff like AirPods and Apple TVs, but with more sales, they'll work up to stuff like iPad Pros and iMacs. So basically, you can place an order of the new merch this week, which is of course a nice little Apple-inspired colored drawing. Although on the site, we're gonna be calling it the MKBHD Special Edition 6 Colors shirt. Apple, please don't sue me. And just for good measure, we'll also toss in the clean, original, best-selling logo tee. So it's these 2 shirts in the drop this week only. Shop away and good luck. All right, on to your questions. So it turns out a lot of the questions are about Hot Ones. Yes, I was on Hot Ones, one of my favorite YouTube shows ever. It is live. I'll link it below. You can check it out. It was kind of amazing. Some of the most common questions were, 1, are the wings really all that hot? Yes, of course they were actually that hot. Do you see these tears in my eyes? These are real tears. They don't just happen by eating chicken wings. And number 2 would be just how was the interview itself? And I mean, of course it was awesome. Sean's a great interviewer. The show's awesome, but just like the amount of research they do and the quality of questions, I don't think I've seen an episode in the last like entire season where the guest doesn't go, oh, that's a really good question, you know? And then number 3 is just like, how long did it take you to feel normal again? Which I would say, if you're asking about my face, it would probably be like half an hour before my face stopped burning. And if you're asking about the rest of me, I was fine. Overall though, it's a really awesome format, and I think maybe in the future we'll be able to actually, I mean, since it's a YouTube show, collaborate with Sean and maybe do a sort of a behind the scenes of Hot Ones. I think that'd be a cool idea, but let me know what you guys think. Sam wants to know, got any new bangers you just want to share or still listening to Prima Donna? Well, first of all, Sam, yes, I am still listening to Prima Donna because it's a great song. But I just want to toss out there, I've been like rediscovering or re-listening to a bunch of Overwork. Great artist, he's from Canada, reps it well, just overall awesome style. There's no place I'd rather. And Saf has some thoughts on Instagram TV or IGTV, as do a lot of people. Thoughts on people repurposing the same YouTube videos for IGTV. And it's kind of like in this weird place where that's sort of all people know how to do. I mean, IGTV is brand new, so it's a platform where people are figuring out content strategy at this point. And it's a boring thing to talk about, but you gotta think about if you wanna make your own original content just for IGTV, or if you don't really have the resources to do that yet, in which case you just sort of put your YouTube videos on IGTV. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I can see why people do it because it's so easy. What I'm not a fan of is what I tweeted what GoPro did, which was literally, you don't have to do this, but they feel obligated to use IGTV, so they just re-uploaded a regular sideways video with massive borders in vertical. No point in doing that. Absolutely no point in doing that. So while IGTV is this young, we're just kind of figuring out what we want to do with it. The latest video I just uploaded is a sort of a behind the scenes look, some never before seen clips behind the scenes of Autofocus episode 2. So when we shot that Aventador down in Palm Beach, none of the clips you see on IGTV are anywhere else. So I think that's a fun way to share stuff. Artif says, do you actually think IGTV will be a serious YouTube competitor, or was that first video like a sponsored thing? Oh, what? No. I guess the first reaction to like, if I like something and they don't like it, then it must be sponsored. That was just me just talking about how I feel. As a matter of fact, for the sake of transparency, here's a list of all of the sponsored videos I've done on the channel in the last 12 months, so the last year. Those are the only 2 ones. Dbrand is a channel sponsor, so shout out to them for being a long-term supporter of the videos we're able to make. And then Red, it's probably not the video you're thinking of, but about 10 months ago, there was a sponsored video, as we disclosed, about the Red Raven kit when it came out and was first available for shooting on YouTube. So that's it. It's not like having sponsors is a bad thing, but just for the sake of transparency, there it is. Jason says, do you think YouTube should add a vertical video section for mobile only to compete with IGTV? Actually, Well, no, I don't think they have to do that. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't know YouTube actually supports and has supported for a while native vertical video. A lot of people don't know if you watch a native vertical video on YouTube and you full screen it, it full screens the same way it does on Instagram. So IGTV native support isn't anything special or something YouTube doesn't have, but it's something worth noting. So I don't even really think that vertical video support is a feature of Instagram TV as much as it's sort of a focus of what they're driving people to make. Face it, IGTV is not nearly a competitor to YouTube, not even to Vimeo or Dailymotion, at least not until they implement horizontal video. All right, hot take. Ready for this? I don't think vertical video is that bad, and hear me out. I think people are hating on vertical video because that's all they know how to do at this point. Like, obviously the logic makes sense. Every camera shoots in widescreen. Every TV, every screen you look at, behind me, in front of you, it's all widescreen. Our eyes are sideways. This is how we watch video. But it's sort of like a chicken and egg thing. We watch video this way because we make video this way, and we make video this way because we watch video this way. But the rise of things like Snapchat and Instagram stories and all of us holding our phones up like this has kind of started this new thing. As much as you might hate seeing someone make a vertical video and then upload it to YouTube where it has those sideways bars, a lot of people are just sharing it with other people watching on their phones, and that's sort of a native organic experience where you're just watching it as if you captured it on your phone. So vertical video on phones specifically is a thing that I'm not mad at. There's no black bars, there's no inefficiencies, it fills up your whole screen. And the challenge now is just to get creative about how to actually use vertical video on your phone. So I think hating on vertical video just because it's vertical is getting a little stale. It's getting a little old. I think you just gotta start thinking a little bit forward and getting creative. And if you're too bored to shoot vertical, then don't, but we'll be on that train. All right, thoughts on the rise of gaming smartphones. And it's kind of hard to say a rise of gaming smartphones when there's not that many. I mean, the prominent ones are the Razer phone, and we just got that new Asus gaming phone, and there's some new ones coming up. But I like the genre, I like the idea, especially in this world where we're getting all these fronts of phones that are all these like featureless, fully screen, no bezel, no notch. If they all look the same on the front, you kind of lose some character that way. So the one thing I see these gaming phones preserving is front-facing speakers, like big, thick batteries, like things that make it a good media experience that you kind of lose out on. Have you met viewers or subscribers wearing your Fire merch? P.S. I got some, of course, and love the shirts. Thank you, Robert. I'm glad you do. And yeah, actually, I have seen that lately, or the most recently was actually in Toronto, playing an Ultimate game, which I tweet out every time we have a game, by the way. A couple people were wearing the shirt in the stands after the game came down, took some photos. It was fun. So I have actually seen people in the wild with the shirts on. Where will LeBron go? I don't know. Does LeBron even know where LeBron's gonna go? What happened to the video with Steph and Curry? Oh yeah, that also was pretty recent. So I posted this photo not too long ago. I did a little bit of a shoot, a commercial shoot actually with Steph Curry. Steph's coming out with a new shoe, the Curry 5. And we made like a sort of a commercial. Under Armour reached out and they're like, hey, do you want to be in this commercial with Steph playing yourself? And I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. So we were out there for a day with that. The commercial, I'll link that below as well. But yeah, it's just kind of a sort of a fun thing. It's not a YouTube collab really. It's just kind of a fun opportunity that I happened to meet Steph at.
That's right. Hey Marquez, tell them what's under the hood.
For version 5, we studied all the previous iterations. Are you and Victor Oladipo related because y'all look just alike? Do we though? Like, do we really actually though? Like, are you just saying that, or do you really think we look alike, really? Have you considered podcasting as well? Yeah, I've tossed around the idea of podcasting actually, but as far as like formats go, I think podcasting is a very different skill. Like, that's something not a lot of people consider about these different platforms. People who can be really good at YouTube videos, 4 or 5 minute videos, doing live stuff on Twitch, like that is a completely separate, different entertainment skill. Being good in an hour-long podcast, just talking about random stuff, rambling maybe, that's a totally separate, different skill. Even making IGTV videos or Instagram videos, just short form comedy stuff, that's another different skill. So I've thought about podcasting, but I don't actually think I'd be that good at it. But I still play with the idea. I think it could be fun to have like an experimental format to just talk about tech and give opinions when I might not put that all in videos. Would you guys be into a MKBHD podcast of some sort? Audio only, video and audio, something like that? Guests? Let me know. And Captain Shadow says, if you had a chance to interview Elon Musk, what are the questions that you would definitely ask? You know what? I'm actually gonna flip that one right back around at you. Let's say I have an opportunity to do that. Let's say I might tweet at him and he gets back at me. What questions should I or would I ask Elon? We could talk tech, we could talk cars, we could probably talk whatever, but I'm curious what you would say. I'll be hanging out in the comments below, probably taking notes. Either way, that's been it for the June Q&A. Thanks for watching. That also rhymed. Talk to you in the next one. Peace.